Today's Sunday, July 26th, and this is my daily check-in. I would say this is the most professional setup we've had so far, even though that's not hard. Yeah, I have one insight that I have had recently and that kept coming up over the last couple of years, and it's been an idea that I've held in mind basically since starting this whole journey of wanting to build a business, wanting to build my own stuff, wanting to kind of create the type of life that I want to build instead of following the beaten path, instead doing what I feel like. And this idea is something that is kind of against a lot of the hustle culture and a lot of the work hard mindset, which has never really worked for me. I would say that I tend to be quite lazy, and I create a lot of structure and I create a lot of routines and systems so that I can be productive, because if I don't, if I'm just left to my own devices, then I will tend to not be very productive, except sometimes when I'm very inspired, but usually, yeah, I tend toward more the lazy side. And I do think that has one benefit, as in I will probably not burn out that easily because I tend toward rest. And so if I am noticing that I'm working too much and if things are going well, then I will maybe be able to shut off a bit. Although I'm already noticing that that's maybe not really true anymore. I've noticed that I'm really starting to change and have started to change a lot over the last couple of years, and now I feel way more compelled to do more, to pursue more projects, to do more things, and it is honestly very fun. But I'm going on a tangent right now, so let me try to bring it back. So the idea that I want to share and the idea that I've kept having, and the insight that I've kept having over the last few years gave me a lot of energy, which is the idea that once you get to the point where you're doing the thing that you want to do and you're able to live by doing that, you're able to live off whatever path you chose, whether it's building a business, freelancing, maybe you have a remote job and you're able to travel or live in different places. Whatever thing you want to do, if you're able to live off doing that, then you have already made it. And this kind of goes against the idea that you have to become a millionaire, you have to become a decamillionaire, you have to achieve all of those things, which I do think are fun, and I do have very big goals, and I do want to make a lot of money in the future. But you can already experience the life that you want to live when you construct the lifestyle that you want to build eventually. I don't need to be a millionaire to live the type of lifestyle which I want to live, which is to be in a beautiful place, which is to eat good food, to be around good people, to do work that I'm excited by, inspired by, that I'm waking up today's Sunday, waking up on a Sunday and being excited to work on my goals, excited to pursue my projects. And I think this is really the goal. Sure, it would be cool to have millions, and it would be cool to have an even bigger villa or have an even better whatever, but I mean, most people know that materialistic things aren't fulfilling, and that's kind of an old lesson and a very boring insight. But whether someone wants to be materialistic or not, to me, it doesn't really matter. I do think I'm maybe a bit more on the materialistic side than some people. I do like nice things. I do like beautiful, well-crafted things. I like nice design, nice interior. I like to have a good phone, a good laptop. I like to have like nice things. So in that sense, I'm very materialistic. But I can be also very content realizing that I have already arrived, essentially. Like, sure, I've achieved like not even 1% of the goals that I've set, but I have already arrived in achieving my goals, if that makes sense. So I'm at a point where I am doing as much as I currently can. This might expand even more in the future, but currently I am doing the most that I've ever done. I'm making the most progress I've ever made, and it feels good. And I don't need to stress about not having yet achieved a specific outcome. I don't need to stress about the exact amount of money I make, because the amount that I make is enough to continue doing what I'm doing. And I think this maybe is a simpler way of saying it, and I've now spent like 5 minutes kind of maneuvering around and going on tangents. But essentially, the point boils down to when you get to the point where you can do the thing that you want to do, and when you get to the point where you can have enough money to continue playing the game, and this is something that, for example, Hormozy talks about, where if the point of the game is to keep playing, then you already win by just playing, right? If the point of business is to continue to stay in business and continue to learn, to improve, to become more of yourself, help more people, build something cool, make stories, gain experience, then you win by doing that. You already have won by being on that path. Same with health and fitness. Like, I would say I'm in pretty good shape and I really enjoy training, but the point is to be in a place where you can enjoy training, where you can enjoy living healthily, and where you continue to make some progress. The point is not to be shredded, or the point is not to have a certain size, because as soon as you have that shape, you will have a different goal. You will want to get even bigger, and that's certainly the case for me. When I started training in 2021, so 2022, so 4 years ago, there was a particular guy where I saw his physique and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I really want to look like him. And now I would say I'm a little bit bigger than he now is. Like, he was more like a lean athlete type of running shape, and I thought he looked amazing. And I've surpassed that goal in my mind, but I've then since then set new goals. So most people know it. I'm not saying anything new here, but achieving your goals will not make you happy, but pursuing your goals will make you happy, or rather, more precisely, making progress toward achieving your goals is the essential part. When you have a specific goal in mind and you're seeing that you're moving toward it, I think that's the most satisfying moment. Because when you achieve it, you get used to it very quickly and you will look for the next thing. When you're not making progress at all, it will be very frustrating, it will be very difficult, work will feel much harder. But I think when you're in that point, and one of the first topics I talked about here was the idea of momentum. When you start to build momentum, when you start to win, it will fuel you even more to do even more. And I think this is why people say winners win. So as soon as you start winning, it's easier to keep winning. And this is true in so many ways, right? Like, if you start winning, it means that you have built some sort of skill, some level of skill where you can actually win. It will open more doors for you. It will fuel you. It will give you energy. It will make you more confident. It will make you believe more that you can achieve even more. So I think the goal is just to get to the point where you're starting to win, whatever that means for your goal specifically, and then just keep doing the thing. Like, just keep winning, just keep building. And sure, if you want to set even bigger and bigger and bigger goals over time, then I think that's pretty normal for most ambitious people, and I think that's fine. But realizing that when you're on the path where you're starting to win, and when you're on the path where you're doing the thing, you have already won. When you're at the point where, let's say, you're building a business, maybe even with friends, and you're at that point where you're building that business, you're starting to get some clients, you're starting to make money, you're starting to be able to live off that, you will be able to continue forever, essentially, if nothing super bad gets in the way. But I don't really think that people can just fail out of the blue. Like, even if your business goes under, even if something bad happens, then you will have developed certain skills and experience that you can then find the next thing to do. Maybe there will be some delay where things will be harder, but I think once you start winning, it will be very easy to maintain that or to get back on the horse if something bad happens. And so this is really my lesson for myself, and that's why I want to share it. I think it's so beautiful and it's so motivating, at least for me, to realize that, like, in my eyes, I've already made it. Like, I've already gotten to the point where I do the thing that I want to do. And I think that's the essential part. If you have a lot of money, then maybe you can buy things and you can get things, and maybe you can have certain experiences that otherwise you couldn't. But I think the biggest impact on how you perceive your life and the quality of your life is what you do on a daily basis. If what you do on a daily basis, and I can, for example, talk about my routine here. I usually wake up 6:30 every day. I train in the morning. I go to a co-working. I work there. I have a lot of friends, either there or that I talk to on WhatsApp. Some people already left the country, but I have people that I talk to. I have friends. I have an environment of people who are excited about life, about building stuff, about interesting ideas, and so I can have those conversations. It is very fulfilling. I can work on the things that I want to work. I can go to a nice gym, have a nice area where I can lie down, get some sun, talk to people, eat some good food, continue working, and like this is for this phase of life what I want to do. I want to train and I want to work and I want to talk to interesting people. I want to learn things, and like money wouldn't change anything about it. If I had $1 million that I could spend now, it wouldn't really change much. Sure, maybe I would get a new bike, maybe I would get a different villa, but I like the villa, I like my bike, I like the things I have, and the biggest impact are the things that I'm doing. And so I'm realizing that I'm starting to repeat myself. So I want to wrap this up, and yeah, it would be interesting to hear your thoughts on this. And I think, at least for me, maybe people are different, but for me, this is the core source of, or this was the core source of hope back in the days when I wasn't yet winning at all, when nothing was working. Because I knew I don't have to get to X amount of money, I don't have to get to X amount of accomplishment. I just have to get to the point where I can keep doing the thing. I just have to keep working until I'm at the point where this thing, this path I'm on is self-sustainable. And then you can just do it forever. And of course, there will be other chapters, there will be milestones like starting a family. This will come with its own goals and challenges and milestones. And that's a different story. But I think for this initial phase of life, of building yourself as a man when you're still young, I'm 26 now, I feel like I'm getting old. But anyways, I think, or I hope that this was useful, and just let me know what you think.